Problem number 51. Let's look at this one right here. Now between 12, 13, and 35, I don't see any numbers in common. So if this is going to factor, let's just set up our parentheses. There's going to be nothing in common. And let's look at how we can get the 12 and the 35. So the 12. We can get the 12 with a 12 and a 1, a 6 and a 2, cut in half and double, a 3 and a 4, cut in half and double, and then the 35 out here at the end, we can get that 35 with a 35 and 1 and a 7 and a 5. So let's try something here. So first of all, I'm going to try the pair that's closest together. I'm going to go with the 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 5. So let's go over here and we'll put in a 3a because we have a squared, 3a and 4a. And then I'm going to go with the 35 using the 7 and the 5. So the question, of course, is where do I put the 7? Where do I put the 5? So what if we decided, okay, let's put the 7 over here and the 5 over here. Now, we could multiply it out, see what happens. Let's just do that. All right, so let's put a 7 here and a 5 here. Now, here's where we are. Here's a 21 and a 20. Now, 21 and a 20, if I add them, I'm not getting 13. If I subtract them, I'm getting 13. So that doesn't work, but let's not give up on those yet, on those pairs. Let's still go with the 3a and the 4a, but this time, let's put the 7 over here and the 5 over here. See where this goes. Here's a 15 and a 28. Now, 28 minus 15 turns out to be that 13, but we need to account for the w squared, right? The w squared, so we'll also put in a w and a w. This last term's negative, so I've got opposite signs here. I'll put that middle plus sign with the bigger of these two products. So here's 15, 28. This one's bigger. I'll put the plus sign there and the minus sign over here. Multiply that out. I think you'll see we've got it. Let's do it. 12a squared, right there. Negative 15 AW plus 28. So 28 AW minus 15 AW is a 13 AW. Positive 7W times negative 5W is negative 35W. We've got it. Problem number 53. Look what we've got. We've got a 6, 11, and 3. So nothing common there. We've got M's, M's, and M's. We've got 6, 5, and 4. So there's at least 4 M's there. So let's take out those 4 M's. And then we've got N's, N's, and N's. 1, 2, and 3. We've got at least 1 N in each one. Remember, we take out the one with the smallest exponent. So we're taking out an M to the 4th N. And if we do that, here's what's left. The 6 is left. We had 6 M's. We removed 4, so there's 2 left. We had an N, but we removed it. So out of this, we took this. What's left is 6N squared. Now, coming over here, we have a plus 11. We had 5 M's, so let's get that plus 11 before I forget it. So it's going to be plus 11. Then we had 5 M's. We took out 4, so there's an M left. Then we had 2 N's. We took out 1, so there's 1 N left. And then in our last term here, we're going to have a plus 3. And now there were 4 M's. We took out all 4, so the M's are gone. But we had 3 N's. We removed only 1, so there's going to be 2 of those left. Now, let's see if we can factor that trinomial. So bring our M to the 4th N's down. Don't forget those. Here's our 2 sets of parentheses. Now, let's give this a try here. Okay, for this 6, for that 6, we could go with a 6 and a 1, a 3 and a 2. And for this 3, well, fortunately, 3 is prime, so that's an easy one. Only one way to get to 3, a 3 and a 1. Now, let's see what happens. Oh boy, all right, let's try this one, number 63. Look at these numbers. We've got 24, 43, and 87. You know, I don't know that there's anything common with these numbers. We could break them down into their prime factors, but I don't feel like doing that. I'm going to go ahead and guess that there's nothing common here. If there is, it'll show up as we break these down. So I'm going to write my two sets of parentheses here. And now with this 24, we could go with 24 and 1, cut in half and double, 12 and 2, cut in half and double, 6 and 4, cut in half and double, 3 and 8. And with this 87, okay, with this 87, you know what? Here's a little trick I learned long ago. This is 87. So here's what I learned about these numbers like this. If you look at this 87, look at the digits here. 8 and 7. If you add those up, you get 15. And 15 is divisible by 3. And it turns out, if you add the numbers in any number, add the digits in a number, and if that sum is divisible by 3, the whole number is divisible by 3. You know, just try even like, what about 42? 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 is divisible by 3, so 42 is divisible by 3. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 is divisible by 3. So 87 is divisible by 3. So if I write this as 3 times, now we can actually do this. 3 will go into 8 twice. That'll give us 6. Bring down the 2. 27. 3 will go into 27 9 times. So 87 turns out to be 3 times 29. And I think that's it. I don't think there's any other factors to that. So let's give this a go here. So what I'm going to try is to pair this closest together. I'm going to go with the 6 and the 4. Just because it's closest together. Maybe it'll work, maybe not. I hope it does. So we'll get 6v, 4v. Then I have to go with the 3 and the 29 because I think that's the only way it can work. Well, you know what? I forgot one here. Actually, we can write this as 87 times 1. That's a possibility. But I'm going to try the 3 and the 29. So if I try the 3 and the 29, the 3 we know can't go here, right? 6 and 3, 3 is in common. Can't happen. So if this is going to work, the 3 would have to go here and the 29 here. Now, if we try that, this is going to be 18 and 4 times 29. Well, 4 times 30 is about 120, and this is about 20. So out of 120 and a 20, I'm not going to get a 43. This combination just is not going to work. But maybe I won't give up on it just yet. That 6 and the 4. Maybe what I could try is 6v and 4v. But then I could try this pair here, right? The 87 and the 1. But, if I put the 87 over here, 6 times 87, 6 times 90 is 540. You know, that just doesn't look like it's going to work. And even if I put the 87 over here, which I can't do because, remember, 87 is divisible by 3, and so is this. There's 3's in common. This pair, I don't think is going to work. Let's cross that one out. And so much for our good guesses. Let's go with, now instead of 6 and 4, let's go with the 3 and the 8. That's the next pair that's closest together. So I'm going to try the 3v and the 8v, and then let's see, what can we do here? Well, I can't put the 87 here because I'd have 3's in common. If the 87 went over here, that's like 3 times 90, 270. That's going to be too big. You know, that's not going to work. So this pair is not going to work. So what if I try this pair? Well, the 3 I can't put here. If this is going to work at all, the 3 is going to have to go over here. So if I put the 3 here, then I have to put a 29 here. Now, I know this isn't going to work, and you know it too, because 8 times 29, 8 times 30 is 240, and 9, no way we're going to get that 43. So that's not going to work, so we can cross that one off. Now the pair next closest together is the 12 and the 2. So let's try the 12 and the 2. So we could try 12v and 2v. And now, down here, you know, I'm going to give up on this 87 and 1. I think that's just going to be too big. I can't put the 3 here because I'd have 12's in common. 3's in common with the 12. So if this is going to work, the 3 would have to go over here and the 29 over here. But then I'm looking at this. This is about 2 times 30. That's 60 and 24. 60 and 24 kind of gets us close to 43, but it does not get us to 43. So this pair doesn't work. So let's try these extremes here. Let's try 24V and V itself. And then I'm going to try the pair closest together, the 3 and the 8, the 3 and the 29. But if I try this, I know that the 3 is not going to go over here. Because if I put the 3 here, 3 and 24 have 3's in common. That's not going to work. So if this is going to work, the 3 would have to go over here, and the 29 would have to go over here. Now, let's see if this has got a chance. So this is going to be, say, 25 times 3 is 75, and 29. No, that's going to get us real close to the 43. In fact, if you multiply here, what we get is 72 minus 29, which is at 43. Let's get the signs right. This is negative. These two numbers have opposite signs. One's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. I'm going to put that middle negative sign with the bigger of the two products. Here's 72, this is only 29. So I'm going to put the negative sign right here and the plus sign here, and I'm going to claim that that works for us. That was a tough one.